So I've just arrived here at Sonia's to get my eyelashes done. And of course I'm dying to go to the toilet because it's pee week and I'm literally drinking buckets of water. And you can't go anywhere without using the bathroom. Say hello to Rocco.
Say hello to the dog.
Say hello. Sonia is the best eyelash technician, not only in Northern Ireland, but actually in the world.
Just to say that.
I don't have to say that. I was just getting my waxing done, and Amy, who was doing my waxing, said that she had a client in recently who, and Amy said to her, your eyelashes are lovely. Who does them? And she said, I'm not going to tell you. So that is me done. Look, I hate not having my eyelashes done. It's a way that you can always be ready to face the world whenever your eyelashes are done. So that's because I have my lips tattooed, my eyelashes done, my eyebrows tattooed. It means I don't need to wear makeup. I get up in the morning, don't need to put any makeup on whatsoever. And I also had a wee snooze when I was lying there. I was like, you always know when you're falling asleep because then she's picking away at your eyelashes and I'm always like, and then I wake myself up because I've snored. So I actually look forward to coming here every 2 weeks because I get to sleep for an hour. And with the life that I lead, sleeping for an hour is actually, you have no idea how amazing it is. So one other thing that Gareth does for me every day is makes me a fresh juice. So people always ask me, what's in your juice? And I'm like, I don't know, because it gets delivered to me in my office every morning. So Gareth, what's in this one?
That one today is just fennel, apple, turmeric and ginger.
Fennel, apple, turmeric and ginger.
And a wee bit of lemon in it as well.
And a wee bit of lemon. Really good for inflammation in the body. People say to me, why do you drink your green juices? And I say, because really good for inflammation, which you get from training in the gym. Really good for, obviously, the turmeric is really good for reducing inflammation. Also really good to support your liver function. Very important as well. And fresh juices are very cleansing for the digestive system, cleansing for the liver, cleansing for the organs, packed with antioxidants, which fight free radicals, which promote cancer growth in the body. Really good for that as well. And obviously just like fresh juices are fantastic in general for you. So I drink one of these every day. And then I have my lunch usually around 12 or 1. And then I usually head to the gym at about 3. So having my lunch at that time, between 12 and 1, gives me enough energy to train between 2 and 3 because I'm getting some carbs from the green vegetables, but not enough that it kind of fills me or that any of it is stored as fat because the carbs are very fibrous. Wanted to answer another question that keeps coming up about peak week, which is how to dehydrate using a water drop. So what I want to first say is that doing any kind of water manipulation is not a strategy that should be used by the general public. It is not a quick fix strategy to, look good in a dress for the weekend, and it's not for losing a few extra pounds for your wedding day. It is an advanced strategy which, if not done correctly, can actually be very dangerous, especially if you're going, on holiday or you're going on honeymoon after a wedding. You should never ever dehydrate yourself before you fly on a plane because you risk, blood clots or something similar. So definitely do not be using this strategy unless you are a bodybuilder, but I know that so many of you guys are interested in it, so I did want to talk a little bit about it today. So we are going to get enough water from this person, so we do not need to hold on to water underneath the skin or in the organs. So basically what a water manipulation strategy does is you want to almost panic the body slightly by pouring in a lot more water than you actually need. So whenever you start to take in, let's say for example in the extreme, let's say you were taking 8 to 10 liters of water per day. What is going to happen is very quickly after a day or two, probably after about 24 to 48 hours, your body is going to go, oh shit, there's loads and loads and loads of water coming in here, far more water than we need. So let's quickly try to get rid of as much water as we can around the organs, as much water underneath the skin. Try to drop water from the body as quickly as possible because there's so much coming in that we really want to try and balance the water in the body by getting rid of as much of it as possible. So it's kind of like if you were in a bathroom and you left the tap running and you let the bath overflow. If you went into the bathroom and the bathroom was flooded, but there was still water pouring out of the faucet and you weren't able to turn it off, you would pick up a bucket and you would start bucketing the water out of the window or out of the bathroom as fast as you possibly could. So because the water was pouring in and you wanted to keep the bathroom from flooding, your goal would be to get rid of the water from the bathroom floor. This is kind of like how your body does it. So your body says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, there's so much water coming in. It recognizes there's heaps and heaps of water coming in. So it starts trying to get rid of water from the body to maintain the equilibrium. So I'll get up in the morning and I will say start at 8 a.m. or not, let's say 9 a.m. Let's say between the hours of 9 and 5. So at 9 a.m. I pour 500 mils of water, which is just under a pint, into a glass. I keep it on the shelf and I pick it up and I glug, 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 glug down it in one go. And then I set an alarm in my phone to go off every 30 minutes to remind me to drink my half a litre of water. So the next, time my alarm goes off in 30 minutes, I just pick it up, I drink it down. So I continue that way between the hours of 9 and 5. So I'm effectively pouring 8 litres of water into my body. And then very quickly, after 24 to 48 hours, my body is going to recognize there's far more water coming in than it needs. And so it is going to start to drop water crazily from under the skin, from around the organs and all over. Now, why is this important for bodybuilding? Well, what happens is if you do this consistently for 6 days, so this week my show was on a Sunday, so I started my water drop on Monday. And I did Monday, so I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 6 days of a water drop. And then on Saturday evening at around 6 p.m, I stop drinking water. Now, I don't stop drinking completely. That's a myth that people tell you. Excuse me. What I do is I just sip water every time, a big sip of water every time I pee or every time I feel like I'm thirsty. So it's not that you completely stop drinking water, because that would be very, very dangerous, right? Very dangerous. But the night before the show, at around 6 p.m, you stop pouring water into the body and you go back to just sipping water every time you pee. But your body doesn't know that you have stopped pouring water into it, because you have been pouring water into your body for the last 6 days. So your body is still desperately trying to get rid of the water around the organs, under the skin, especially subcutaneously. It's always going to pull it subcutaneously first. It's always going to pull it from under the skin first, because that is the least important place to hold water. So your body's going to keep dropping water, dropping water, dropping water. You're going to keep peeing and peeing and peeing, because your body won't yet have realized that you've stopped pouring water in. So by the time you wake up the next morning on show day, you look really tight and really dry, because your body has got rid of all the water underneath the skin. Now, by the time your body realizes that you've stopped pouring water in it and stops getting rid of all the water, you have stopped, your show is over and you're drinking again. So it's a really cool strategy to use, because your body does regulate very, very quickly. If you ever feel dizzy or lightheaded or woozy or whatever, it could be that your sodium levels are low, and you never want your sodium to drop low in your blood, because that is extremely dangerous. It can cause organ failure. And you never want the potassium to drop too low as well, because that can cause severe muscle cramps. So whenever I am doing a water drop, I make sure that I salt everything for the first few days, like salt like crazy, everything for the first few days. And then at the end of the week, I actually start to cut salt out of my diet completely, because if you always remember the rule, water follows salt. So if salt goes into the body, your body will hold water to process the salt. That's why you get really bloated after eating a big Chinese meal, for example, or something with a lot of salt. And once you take salt out of the body, the water follows the salt. So by the end of the week, by about Thursday, if the show is on Sunday, I will cut all salt out of my diet, and the water will continue to leave my body. So water always follows salt, if you remember that. I also take a pretty strong potassium supplement every 3 hours when I'm doing a water drop. So I will take 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams of potassium every 3 hours, and I will double up on the potassium the day after the show, because otherwise you can get muscle cramps. But I have found that if I take potassium 500 to 1,000 milligrams every 3 hours from I wake up till I go to bed, that stops me from getting cramps. So that is effectively a water drop. I mean, there's many, many ways to do it. This year, because I don't need to do such a severe water drop, I'm just starting with 3 liters on Monday, and then going up to 3.5, then 4, then 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. So by Friday, I'll be drinking 6 liters, which is enough to just get rid of some of the subcutaneous water, but not enough to make me look really, really hard. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick video about a water drop. Many people, many bodybuilders do a water drop, but actually I've found that very few people can actually explain it to you in the way that I just have. But I've always found that explaining something or understanding the mechanics and the science behind something really helps me to understand why I'm doing it, and it helps me to better relate to, why, and also just to feel safer. I always say that, knowledge is power. Like, having data is very, very powerful, because it gives you, you feel better about what you're doing because you know. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quick video. And if you have any questions, definitely write them in the comments below. I love to hear them. And also let me know if you enjoyed this video. Like, is this something you would like to see more of? Do you love the science behind it? Or even just write in the comments, preach it, girl. Totally love the science. I'm into hearing more of this. And I will definitely follow up with other videos if you guys are enjoying the content. Okay, talk to you soon.